Hey, Sparks family. Hello. Thank you for being patient. We had some technical difficulties. I see some people in here. I see Stray Kitten and I see Wolf Fang. And I think I saw the prepping artist in here. Hello, you guys. Um, Mark and Filipino boy, hello. Marco is not going to be able to make it in tonight. So if you guys see a bot, please let me know so I can try to hit it. I've also opened up the Q&As so that if you have any questions for my guests, please post them in there so that I can see it. If you cannot get the Q&A working, just type in all caps and then hopefully I can see it, because you guys know that I'm really bad at following my chat, but I'm going to do my best to try to follow. Hey, Hudson, thank you. Yes, I have a moderator. Hudson, Marco can't be here tonight, so please, if you can squash the bots, I know you will. I greatly appreciate it. Spank them on the way out. Jeep Girl, hello, my dear. So I am going to tell you guys real quick about my guest tonight. Thank you, Wolf. I appreciate it. As you guys know, I went to the gathering, the Palmetto State Armory gathering. And what you guys don't know is that my husband and I went to the wrong area first. And when we went to the wrong area, we saw this car that had a emblem on it that I absolutely loved the logo and had to take a picture of it. Well, I was on a mission this entire time that I was there to find these people. I wanted to meet the people behind this logo because this logo just jumped out to me. It felt like it had the same meaning that mine does to me. So I literally went into the other of the gathering looking for this group that had this logo, and I was told that they had already left for the day and they were not probably going to be back the next day. Well, lo and behold, God had a different plan, because here they came right behind me walking up. And so I got to meet them, and I am going to introduce them. Hello. This is the group that I was looking for the entire time, and they are with Modern Woman Warrior. If you guys don't know, they have a facility. Actually, you guys, I'll let you guys talk about it. If you want to talk about your company, go right ahead.
Hey guys, how are you? So we're Modern Woman Warrior, and so you'll see Grant, the Modern Woman Warrior producer. That's my husband. So Grant and I had a training company for self-defense training called Emmaus Shooting and Defense, and we wanted to expand. And my good friend Amber and I had been talking for a long, long time about how we wanted to get self-defense out to women, and we wanted to be able to train women to defend themselves. And so we contacted Amber and we said, look, you've got producing skills and you've got all these photography skills. Let's collaborate or come in together as partners and make this YouTube channel. And it's all things women's self-defense. So we do mindset stuff, we do ballistics training, we do firearms training, we do unarmed self-defense. And so we came up with our logo, and we've been at it, I think, November 18th. October 18th was our first video. So we're really excited. We put one up a week, and we're going. So we were very excited to meet Christy at the gathering because we hit it off automatically. It was so neat. We're a lot alike, I think. So really kind of cool. Do you have anything to add?
So since October 18th, we've put out 30 videos and 22 shorts since October. We haven't missed a Tuesday yet. So we focus back and forth. Every Tuesday, we do something educational for women, self-defense, whether it be firearms training, unarmed self-defense. And then we do something a little more on the technical side of the house, dealing with firearms, side-by-side comparisons on different everyday carry guns, things like that.
Yep.
So what are your guys' backgrounds as far as being able to teach?
Okay. So I've actually been on my journey for self-defense for about 7 years now. When Grant and I were dating, I had gotten divorced and I was kind of living on my own, and I was wanting to learn how to defend myself. And we were good friends, and he said, let me teach you how to do this. You can start this journey yourself. And I said, okay. And so I said, my only problem is I can't shoot. I can't hit anything. And so he took me to the range and he said, I don't believe you can't hit anything. So I said, fine, we'll put this little target out at 10 feet and I'll promise you I won't even hit the backer. So I didn't. He brought it in and he was shocked. He was like, really? He said, I think we have a cross-eye dominant problem. So he said, I think you are right-handed and left-eye dominant and you're shooting out of your right eye. So he got me all lined up with my left eye, and lo and behold, I started nailing the center of the target. I got so excited. And so I just became a maniac. I mean, all things self-defense. And then the more I went down that road on my own and I see the world changing, I wanted to be able to help other women. And so I went and got certified as an NRA instructor. I got really good. I started practicing, and I got good enough to be able to pass all of the qualifications to become an NRA instructor. And Grant had been instructing forever. So, I just kind of came in with him and we started instructing. And then I'm going to let Amber tell you her story because she's kind of the opposite of me. So she's a very different background than I am.
When she says Grant's been instructing forever, I mean like forever. Like ancient. And I'm just kidding. I love
I
Grant.
call him the pistol whisperer, though. He can get anybody to do whatever he needs them to do. He's amazing.
I love Grant. I love him so much. I have a military background. I'm an Army veteran. I started off my career as a military police soldier. So of course, firearms were something that was second nature to me. I started off as military police, and then I went into psychological operations with the United States Special Operations Command. And then when I got out, I took a little bit of a break from all that crazy stuff I used to do in the Army. I was a mom. And then I ended up getting my master's in photography. I kind of switched my life up a little bit, kind of played it safe for a little bit. And then in Alaska, I was on 5 acres in the middle of nowhere. And I felt that, okay, my husband was gone playing in the mountains a lot, that I needed to kind of pick that back up to be able to defend myself and my family, kind of get those skills, dust them off a little bit, and in case my family needed me. And I went and picked up another firearm and started training with it, and I never let it go. Very nice, very nice. Got a hole.
Yeah.
And so then we moved all over the place, of course, and my husband and I do a lot of training together. Then we moved here to Savannah. Of course, I continued my training by myself, with my husband. Then we moved down here. She became the facilitator for a group called A Girl and a Gun. And she posted it in the local group. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. Finally, like I want to meet girls that like to shoot. I never find those. I'm always with the guys, and I like my husband and all, but I want to hang out with some girls. And so I went to the meeting and I was like, oh, thank you I appreciate that. And we hit it off right away. And so I started attending the Girl and the Gun meetings, and Louisa, Grant, and myself, we just kind of hit it off. And it kind of started from there, and we're all great shooters.
Then you became an NRA
so
instructor.
then they approached me and they're like, hey, we're interested in possibly you becoming an instructor for us. And I'm like, let's do it. So I got my certification. Of course, I had some background of instructing, being a non-commissioned officer. I led soldiers. I taught them things. The story can go on and on. But I became an instructor with them, got all my certifications, and it all just kind of blossomed from there. And we hit the ground running with Modern Woman Warrior. As soon as she said women, self-defense, I was like, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. And we did it, and we're doing it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
We're loving it.
Yeah.
And you guys do classes, right?
We do. We do in-person classes, and our in-person classes are very different than what we do with our NRA instruction. So our NRA instruction, it has an NRA curriculum. And so we will have to follow that curriculum. So we were able to write our own curriculum with Modern Woman Warrior because, to really become competent to defend yourself, you have to have all kinds of tools in your toolbox. So our classes, we have 3 levels right now. We have a basic, an intermediate, and a advanced. And so in each of those classes, you're going to get empty hand, you're going to get mindset and situational awareness, and you're going to get firearms, because they're all important. And that way women can kind of decide too, which path do I want to take? Do I want to only learn how to defend myself with, just my hands or with a knife or whatever? Or do I want to do some firearms, or do I kind of want to do a little bit of it all like Amber and I do? So everybody's journey will be different. Everybody's path will be different, but our classes are set up so that everybody can come in and take it and kind of decide what their path and their journey is going to be. And we kind of want to be there to mentor people and let them know how our lives have gone and help them on their journeys. And hopefully Christy's coming down next weekend for our class. We're really excited about that. Yes. So she's going to come take our basic class, and she'll be able to come back and tell you guys all about it.
Well, so another thing to add to what Louisa was saying, and yes, I'm excited for you to come take our April 22nd. We have one spot left, guys. So if there's anybody that wants to take the class, it's pretty amazing. April 22nd. So another thing that's really amazing about the class is a lot of people don't understand is just because you carry a firearm does not make you safe. It doesn't mean that it's going to make you any safer. You have to learn how to use it. You have to properly know how to use it. And even before you learn how to use it, you have to have the right mindset. You have to be taught the right mindset. And before we even give you the firearm, which we use a training pistol, we use a Ruger Mark IV. Before we even put a pistol in your hand, we teach you all of the things that you need to even be able to create that space to get to your pistol in the event that you're in that situation. You know, that, like she said, the unarmed self-defense, the mindset, how to avoid the fight by using situational.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's one of our students in the class, Lori, that just posted. She has a disability with her hands, and we helped her in the class. Our lead self-defense instructor, like, he worked around those disabilities. She has Hashimoto's, so she's very weak in the hands and fibro, and we taught her different moves using things that she was strong at, like her elbows and her knees, to be able to use those things. So it's really great. And so you go through all those portions of the class, then you get through you get to the pistol instruction, and then you learn the safety, the foundations, and all the things. And you leave with such a sense of confidence and motivation to get to the next level. So it's a really fantastic class. He sat there listening. So it's a great class. Into it.
So Roaming Prepper wants to know what state you're in.
I just said, I just answered, but we're in Savannah, Georgia. So Savannah's a small city, well, kind of a medium city on the coast. So come down and make a weekend of it. It's beautiful downtown area with all kinds of big oak trees and horse-drawn carriages and all kinds of stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a great city to make a weekend of it and do our class one day and then roam around downtown on Sunday.
Yeah, Roaming Prepper says firearm is a tool, but it's also a machine. Can malfunction, can get hung up in clothes, and is subject to user error, both physical and mental.
Exactly. And in our class, we train how to get around that, how to fix your malfunctions, how to pull from your conceal, properly, all of those things, these classes, that's what we teach them. And that's a perfect example, as it can be more harm than good if you don't know how to use it properly or how to respond to those situations in case it gets hung up in your clothes or it malfunctions.
Which is why you have to have more than one tool in your toolbox too. You can't just have one thing that you rely on. The more tools you have, the safer you'll be. And of course, our very first tool is our mind and our mindset, and avoiding situations that we can get ourselves into by not getting into them in the first place, so that we never have to use any of those other tools.
Making yourself a hard target is
absolutely
number one. Avoid the fight altogether if you can make yourself a hard target.
And I do want to say, for those of you that are not female that are on here, we love having people on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of men on our YouTube channel, but our in-person classes are women only. But we always accommodate couples and men at Emmaus Defense. You can still train with me and Amber through Emmaus. We'll make sure that we're there if you come and want to take a class with us there. So we can we can tailor a class just for you if you're coming on a weekend, or we can hop you into one of our NRA classes. So either way. Yeah.
Yardbird said, sounds like your classes are pretty comprehensive.
They really are. And it's, you know what, I'm not going to lie, it's a long day. 8 to 6. I mean, it is comprehensive, but the feedback that we always get from our students is it goes really fast. Like, they're like, the day's over. Like, it's comprehensive. It moves along. You're constantly learning. You're engaged. It's not just sitting and staring at a PowerPoint. There is a PowerPoint, but it's very engaging, and we're constantly moving and doing stuff because you get that hands-on. So when we say that unarmed self-defense, we have an actual certified lead self-defense instructor that comes in, and you do basic strikes and kicks in the basics. So there's, got it. Are you responding? So you actually get physical hands-on kicks and strikes instruction in that class. Like you have to come in there prepared to learn that stuff. It's not just sitting in a desk. So it is definitely comprehensive.
Somebody just said it didn't make sense. Red Scout said that didn't make sense.
What part?
What part? Can you tell? Okay.
Do you guys ever have people who have never shot anything come to your classes?
Absolutely. We have people that have never touched a gun in their lives, never even touched it. That's why we start out with the blue plastic gun and then move to a real gun with a laser in it. And then we move to live fire after that, so that you become comfortable with all of the functionality of it. And you won't be afraid because you know all the safety first. We always start with all of the foundations of safety in every class. I don't know how to mute that. Do you know how to mute that?
It's okay.
So,
right.
Yeah, but it's definitely all women, but no to men. No. So you misunderstood. There's two businesses. We have Modern Women Warrior, which caters to women only. Then we have a sister company that is co-ed, men and women. It's called Emmaus Defense. So there's two classes to choose from. Well, if you're a woman, you can do both Emmaus. If you're a woman, you can do Emmaus and Modern Women Warrior. But if you're a man, you can only do Emmaus. So that's what we meant.
Yeah.
Just popping up. I'm popping up comments as I see them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got you. I'm trying to read some of them to see if we can respond to anything.
Yeah, I'll try to pop up some of the questions, and then I have the Q&A, which you're not going to be able to see the Q&A.
Okay.
That's only on my side.
They already are. That's why we have a women's only. There's tons of men clubs out there. Go join them.
Yes, absolutely. There's lots of just men clubs for just men, which is kind of why we wanted to tailor ours with Modern Woman Warrior just around women, because you know, women are different. We have different, we're built differently. We have physically, we're stronger in different places than men are. And so our guns typically are different than what our husbands or our boyfriends would use. So we tailor those classes just to women, and we teach them how to fit a pistol to their hands. And we work with any issues like really small hands or whatever will help people find something that fits them. So that's
for us, we have found that a lot of women tend to learn a little bit better from other women. They're a little bit more at ease learning from other women. And that's just from teaching over 800 students. So
that's cool. Somebody has
When did you open the school?
About 1,000 students now. Grant just corrected me.
So Emmaus Shooting and Defense, we opened in 4 years ago, and we had our first Modern Woman Warrior class in, well, we
February.
started in like February, so it was our first live
That's
class.
when we split to women only in February.
So
Grant, do you have anything to add?
He linked us. Do you have anything
Thank
to
you.
add? Here,
Thank
we'll
you,
mute
Hudson
and
Valley.
you talk. Hold on. Okay, we're muting.
Can't hear you. He's still muted.
Hold on. We're teaching him how.
You're fine. So guys, they're in the same room, so one has to mute while the other one talks, or y'all are going to get a really, really bad echo. That's why we're kind of jumping here back and forth.
Yeah. The thing I would add.
Hold on. I muted, but what's happening?
It's an echo chamber.
Sorry, guys.
Hold on.
I got to mute him for a second because that's getting really loud.
It says our mute.
All right, try now.
I'll tell you what. Come over here, Brent. Mute yours. Mute yours back.
All right, guys.
It's going to come over here.
All right, I'm just going to drop him down.
We'll just do a spot.
Oh, okay.
There we are.
That's old school. We just did that. We just did that with Snickernet. What would I add? I think they did a really good job of presenting what the company's all about, what the training's all about. We are trying to eliminate myths. Myths are frequently not true. And the myth that you're safer just carrying a gun simply isn't true. The reality is, when somebody's going to attack you, they're going to get as close as they can to you, and you'll never get the gun into the fight unless you have other skills. So you have to avoid the fight. You have to see the fight coming, and then you have to be able to buy yourself time and space to either get away, hopefully, or to get the gun into the fight. And then the other thing that we try and make sure everybody understands is
What happened?
I don't know. The moment you pull the pistol, you've lost. No matter what else happens, because the moment you pull that pistol and you engage someone with deadly force, you are going to have, even if you come out completely unscathed and you prevail in the attack, your life is going to change dramatically. In today's society, you are going to really suffer some consequences from that. So we want to make certain that you do everything you can to avoid that fight. We're not gun happy. We're not trigger happy. The last thing you want to ever do is shoot somebody with a handgun, but it's way better than being dead. So that's pretty much the whole idea behind it. And the Emmaus Defense Company, we started 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, and we've had over 1,000 students have come through. We've just really started the live training on Modern Woman Warrior because we needed to get our ducks in a row to get it done. And although they were absolutely correct when they said we put our first video up on October 18th, the reality is, though, we did planning and research and putting all of this together since the previous January. So, we're real serious about this, and hopefully it shows in the quality of the product.
Yep.
Lori, if you are ever in my streams in the future, you will get used to some of the people in this chat. Red Scout, I do have a guest. I'm going to ask you not to be your normal self and get a rise out of people, because we do have other communities in here. So please behave. I am used to you. You don't bother me, but people that are not used to you, I'm just asking you to please be on your best behavior. I understand you, but not everybody does. So until they get to know you, please just be kind.
Let's see.
Who's you making mad?
Lori.
So what would you, well, actually, I want to ask, because Wolf said that he likes your crest, and that's actually what made me track y'all down.
Yeah, I saw that. I said, thank you, Wolf.
So where did that come from? Where did the idea come from? What's the thought behind it? So forth.
You want me to tell you
Why
that?
don't you? Yeah.
I'm going to let Amber sit back down.
Yeah, let Amber sit back down. I'll tell it. So actually, Grant drew that on a napkin. He kind of had the vision. We were talking about this company and what we wanted to do. And why don't you get your stool and put it right behind us?
I can do that.
And so he
They're
drew
not married.
on a napkin, and he said, I think it needs to be like one side warrior and one side is the everyday woman. And so, Amber is an artist at heart. So I said, Amber, this is what we have on the napkin. Can you make this happen? And she's like,
because it didn't really look like the logo.
No,
now.
it doesn't.
It was a
So,
concept.
So she was like, okay, so photography is my art, drawing not so much. So it's so weird because I feel like, every time we start on an endeavor, I really feel like God has blessed us and he puts people in front of us like at the most odd times that seems like, but there's no mistakes.
But first he puts barriers in our way.
Yes.
And we have to walk through those barriers with faith. And
Right.
so what happened was we started going around and trying to find a graphic designer who would do this. And when we got prices of like $10,000 to $20,000 for the design,
We
we
couldn't
thought,
afford it.
well, this isn't going to happen. And then tell them about Ellen.
So a girl came and started taking, she called us, her dad contacted Grant and said, I see that you're an NRA instructor. My daughter is down in Savannah at a school called SCAD. I'm worried about her safety. Can you guys teach her some safety? You know, she needs some handguns, she needs some empty hand, blah, 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 blah. And so we met with Ellen. And so she came to us like twice and she was there and we did classes with her. And the next thing you know, I said, Ellen, what are you doing at SCAD? She said, oh, I do graphic design. And I said, wait, is that like logos? And she said, that's like my thing. And I was like, what? I'm like, here, look at this napkin. Can you make this happen? And she was like, absolutely. And she's like, are you sure? Because I'm still in school. And we're like, yeah, give it a crack. Well, it started coming to life. Like she started doing layers of it. And it was just every layer that she handed us, we're like, oh, it's gorgeous. She's like, no, it's not done. Give me another, you know, if you like that, just let me keep going. And then we're like, oh, we love it. Oh no, I'm not done yet. And then we cried when we saw the final one.
Well, and I got to give Ellen credit because although came up with the general concept of it, she came up with the idea to make the two women look like a cross between these two.
Yeah. So there we are. That's our logo.
You can see it.
And so it's Amber and
gorgeous.
Louisa
Combined.
as one person combined, eeach one as a modern woman and each one as a warrior. And by the way, I've seen these women shoot. I wouldn't screw around with them.
So yeah, so that's kind of how that happened. And so we kind of feel like God put Ellen in our path. So oh, that's sweet, Hudson.
How long did it take you to train to get proficient?
Well, I think it's going to be different for everybody. So for me, it's taken me 7 years, but I kind of feel like it's never really, well, I mean, I guess it took me to be proficient. I don't know. What would you say?
2.5, 3 years.
2.5 or 3 years to get proficient. But like I said, it's a journey. We still go to classes, all three of us. Any chance we get to go and take a class with somebody where we may or may not learn new firearms techniques or anything, but we may learn a different way to teach something or a different angle to teach it from, or a lot of times we learn how not to teach from taking a class from an instructor. But I just kind of feel like I'm always learning. I want to be a sponge. So, you know, as much as we're teaching, we're still going out and learning so that we bring stuff back to our students. Any chance that we get to go take a class from somebody so that we can bring it back to our students, we do.
No, Fuzzy, I can't cook. Just ask my husband. He's sitting right there. I freaking suck. I can cook spaghetti. That's about as far as I can go, but I can shoot a sub-second all center mass while moving backwards in a diagonal direction and save my kids and myself at the same time. So that I can do.
I love that. That's okay.
I can cook some macaroni and cheese. Now my husband, he can cook.
Cody can cook.
Yeah, Fuzzy's very big on people need to learn skills. So I'm sure he very much supports y'all.
No,
and what you're doing and teaching others.
Spaghetti is awesome. I can do some good chili. Now chili, I can do some good chili. I can do some chili. So as far as proficiency, now, you know, that's I won't say that's subjective because it depends on like also what you're referring to. So when people think are you talking like with carrying? You know, someone who is working on their everyday carry skills, someone who competes in matches, someone who does it just for target practice. I mean, you can go down a rabbit hole with that because that's another thing we stress to our women. Like there's a big difference between going out to the range and just shooting at a target 25 feet away and calling it a day versus someone who gets out there and trains defensively. Like you train like your life depends on it. There's a huge difference. And we really stress that to our students that come through. Like you have to figure out what your journey is about. Like you can't come to our class and say, oh, I'm ready to go defend myself. No, it's something that you have to take, you know, very seriously and decide, like, if you're going to do it, you're going to train. You have to at least get out there as often as life allows you. We're all mothers and fathers and, you know, we work full time and we do this and that. So I know most people can't go to the range 3, 4, 5 days a week and do it like some people do for a living, but you have to make a commitment to keep your skills polished and keep them where they need to be, you know, because if you don't do it, I mean, what's the point? And like we also like the whole target practice, it is so different going out to a little square range, picking your gun up and shooting at a target that's not moving versus getting out there to a range and having your gun concealed and pulling and moving and working defensively. It's a whole different ballgame. So when you say like being proficient, that's, you know, that.
So if I could add, the thing that you have to remember is that under pressure, which you would be under pressure in an attack, you will devolve to your lowest level of training. Your higher brain function shuts off. Your ability to use small muscle kind of coordination goes away.
Right.
And so you need to train the way you feel you may have to fight, if that's what you're about. Now, if you just want to go out and leisurely shoot targets, good for you. That's a really good thing to do, but that will not prepare you to defend yourself, because once that gun comes out, unfortunately it becomes a fight to the death.
Right.
So it's
basically muscle memory.
Exactly. The more muscle memory you can build up, and that takes repetition. Now, I'm 66, and I've been doing this since I was 5. And I'm going to tell you something. If I don't shoot for a couple of weeks, my skill set starts to decline. And so if I have that much muscle memory build up, and yet I still have to constantly work on keeping my muscle memory good, I think everybody else does too.
And that, you know what, Hudson Valley, you're absolutely right. That's something that we teach in our classes. That's something that happens to everyone, no matter how skillfully trained you are or not. You can be we learned that in the military. Like, you can be so highly skillfully trained. I know that just sounded weird, but you will fall to your lowest level of training every single time.
Absolutely.
That's why muscle memory is so incredibly important.
Yep.
You're absolutely right, Hudson Valley.
So Lori asked, what's a safe gun and ammunition should you use to defend yourself but not hurt an innocent person?
It's a great question. She's trying to stimulate some conversation. And actually, she's doing that because we have a video coming out Tuesday. I know that's what she's doing. She follows us, very avidly. So she knows that we have a video coming out on Tuesday in reference to that exact question. So if you want the answer to that, subscribe to our channel. We did some amazing recording here last week on gel block, FBI gel block testing to their standards. And we talk about, we're going to start with the 22, and then the following weeks we'll go into 380, 9mm, et cetera. But we followed FBI gel block standing protocol, excuse me. Thank you, Grant. Talking about self-defense ammunition and what you should use, why you shouldn't use this, etc. So I'm not going to answer that. I want you guys to come watch the video that's going to be posted on Tuesday that will answer that question.
And
thanks, Lori.
Hang on to the last exercise, because in the last exercise, we use a round that probably wouldn't be good for self-defense, because it would go through 2 people and 2 walls.
And it did in our, well, not real people, our gel people, our simulated people, our gel.
That on live.
If we start using real people as targets.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
We might get shut down.
Our gel. So we kind of do all kinds of different things. So yeah, that was a good question.
Are you guys constitutional carry there?
We are.
Okay, so being that we're not here yet in South Carolina. Actually, no, I think we just became. Anyways, regardless. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that once constitutional carry becomes available, that people should just all of a sudden start carrying where everyone can see it? Or do you think it's still better to stay concealed?
Absolutely. Always stay concealed. That's our opinion. So, you become a target if you're not concealed. So if I'm a bad guy and I go into the Walmart and I'm in there for not good reasons, the first people that I'm going to take out are the people that could take me out of the equation, right? So if I'm there to hurt a whole bunch of people, then I'm putting myself at risk. If I have a pistol on my hip, it needs to be a last resort.
Wait, don't answer that yet. Go ahead, finish what you were saying, and then you can
that's
answer.
a good question too, though. So I think that it has to be your absolute last resort. I think that you have to be, it needs to be an element of surprise. Somebody needs to not know that it's going to happen. And when it comes up, it just comes up. So that's my opinion. I never open carry. None of us do. We always conceal. So
I agree with you. So I'm glad that you said that, because my husband and I both agree with you.
Well, and honestly, we were kind of afraid when we became constitutional carry that like everybody was going to start carrying, and some people do. But for the most part, we have found that a lot of people come to us for training because they want it. Now they can constitutional carry, but they want the training. So I love that. I think that whatever you do, you have a responsibility if you're going to carry to whether it's a knife or a gun or pepper spray, you need to learn how to use it properly if you're going to carry it.
Otherwise, it's going to get taken away from you and used on you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So
Wolf's next question is a handgun, one in the chamber or not?
Absolutely. Always in the
Yeah.
chamber. Yes. So the Israeli way of carrying with one not in the chamber. Actually, I had a good history lesson on that today, as a matter of fact. So the reason that happened, it was which war?
1948, when Israel was formed, they had no guns.
Yes.
So they took guns from a lot from like the World War II German powers. They took guns wherever they could get them to arm their people. And since there was no standard of a proper way to carry the gun, they started with an empty chamber and a full magazine.
Because some of the guns they were getting weren't safe to carry with one in the chamber.
Like an .08 Luger, which is famous for shooting people when you leave around in the chamber and the gun gets dropped.
So they just have kept that, but that kind of training, and there've been all kinds of studies on that, and we may have to do one, do a thing on that where you do a timed test on, can I get one in the chamber as fast as I can pull the pistol, without one, and it's always going to be slower. So if you learn how to draw from the holster properly, making sure that your finger is not on the trigger, I would say do not carry in a holster unless you've learned how from somebody that knows that can train you on how to come out of a holster. But it's perfectly safe if you're trained on how to do it.
The other thing is, when we talk about it adds a second or a second and a half to the draw stroke.
Which you may not have.
For every second and a half that you add to it, the attacker could cover 21 feet.
Which is fast.
So
we have several questions.
Wow.
Realistically, an attacker isn't going to stand 21 feet away from you and say, wave a knife at you, say, I'm coming for you, baby. That's not how that works. They get as close to you as they can. So adding a second or a second and a half to your draw stroke and fire is a great way to get yourself killed.
That's true. So I see lots of comments I want to go back on. So somebody, Wolf said it has a drop. It was a drop issue back in the day. That is true. There was that issue back in the day where if you dropped the gun, it could go off. Not anymore. Most modern handguns today have a drop safety on them. Somebody said my EDC has no safety and the kids are around a lot here, so I really keep mine chambered. So I would say either have it in a holster on your person, and if it's in the house, you need to have one of those biometric lock boxes where it's only your fingerprint and maybe a significant other in your house, but the kids' fingerprints aren't on there. Now that won't keep anybody from picking up the box and stealing it, but it will buy you enough time that, oh, my kids are missing, where are they, before they could break into the box and get something out. But please keep that safe so that the kids can't get to it. I agree.
Explain why they don't want a key lock or a combination.
Right. You don't want a key lock or a combination. You want the biometric where it's your thumbprint or your handprint, because under pressure, you're going to forget your combination, or your fine motor skills are going to devolve and you're not going to be able to get the key and open it. If you've ever had any kind of situation where you've been under a lot of pressure, like a car wreck or something like that, and you start shaking really badly because your adrenaline's pumping, you're not going to be able to get a tiny little key into a key lock under pressure. So
or find it.
The biometric locks are great.
That's a good point. I never thought of that.
Dogs, because I know somebody whose dog got their handgun and tried to use it as a chew toy, so they got a biometric lock and
left it behind the hot water here.
Yeah, that was fun. Somebody was asking about paintball as close quarters.
Is that what
Airsoft?
Airsoft. So
Airsoft.
if any training is better than no training.
Absolutely.
So with that, yeah, any training with that is better than no training. And we were talking about Gunsight. If anybody's familiar with Gunsight out in Arizona, well, they have Nashville and Arizona. Is anybody here and that's in this chat familiar with Gunsight or know what we're talking about?
That's where this hat comes from.
Yeah, so they have phenomenal training, and Grant and I have actually done some simunitions training, which is kind of like it looks like a cartridge, but it has a paint tip to it. And we've done some simunitions close quarter training there, and it was fantastic. real eye opener on how fast things can happen.
Did you see what Fuzzy said?
What did he say?
Wait. No.
Glad
He
to
said by training women, you find out it takes 3 months to train a guy and 3 minutes to
I
train
know,
a
I
woman.
was trying
Why?
to do it.
Listen, men think they know it all.
Women have some listen in them. Sometimes guys don't, but yeah.
And
All right,
well,
thank you, Virginia. I wasn't sure. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't sure if it was signed in yet. It didn't really matter to me because I'm not going to carry
Jeff.
open anyways. But I
Jeff
appreciate you
Cooper.
letting me know. I knew it was coming. It just wasn't.
Jeff Cooper, not
It's,
Bill Cooper.
it's
Yardbirds.
Jeff Cooper.
Yes.
Colonel Jeff Cooper.
So Yardbirds has legal open carry in New Mexico, but he also has rarely ever seen anyone open carry.
Right. And careful with crappy ammo. Yes, you crappy
Yep,
pistols.
Lone Wolf, I am. I'm doing really good. I was in a rush today. I made a 6-hour road trip today with the family and had to rush back to get on here. So
with us, and we appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we appreciate it. We kind of touch on Tuesday's episode. We touch on using cheap ammo, if you will, or ammo that's kind of subpar,
Like full metal jacket.
like
ammo.
full metal jacket ammo, and you don't want to
Don't scrimp
fall.
on ammo.
Don't scrimp on ammo is what.
Don't scrimp on a gun
guns,
either.
on a
And
gun.
don't scrimp on holsters.
On
No.
holsters. So we touch on that in some of our videos. So we'd love if some of you could head over, are interested in anything that we're saying on here, go hit subscribe. We have some really great content over there for anybody that's interested in not just the shooting aspect, but we really dive deep into the technical side of things. Big time. Like I said, those side-by-side comparisons, we use a ransom rest for technical accuracy. We take that human element out of marksmanship, and we really dive deep into a lot of that technical stuff. Then we put the human element back in by shooting, and giving our own opinion on it. So a lot of great stuff over there. So we'd love to have you over there as a part of the Modern Woman family. So, and believe it or not,
That's
half
okay.
of our subscribers are men. So, come on over.
Yardbirds, you're okay.
What'd he say?
She said, "Oops."
For what?
Look, you had half of it right.
Hey, the Cooper
so
part's right, but Jeff Cooper,
job.
smart man, that Jeff Cooper. So
Yes, he was.
he was the first one to ever do civilian training for
Self-defense.
self-defense. So that it's kind of cool. It's a really neat place to go train.
So prepping artists, to answer your question, if
True.
it comes down to an EMP, chances are you're going to keep your weapon on you anyways, if it comes down to that. But you're right, the biometric won't work, but there is, you will have a spare key to get into it for when the biometric doesn't work. Like if the
Right.
battery goes dead, they do come with spare keys, usually 2 spare keys.
Yep.
So you can keep them in different areas. Don't keep them together, put them in different places. But if it comes down to, I know what you're talking about. We talk about EMPs a lot on
Yes.
in our community. If an EMP hits and it gets to that point of SHTF, you're probably not going to keep your gun locked up anyways. You're going to keep it on you or very
Absolutely.
nearby.
Yep.
But to get it to that point, I mean, they have keys,
Magnetic
which
pulse. comes
Hudson
real quick.
answered. But
Yeah. So yes, and will that take out a battery too?
What?
Well, we always tell people to change the batteries.
Every 45 days.
Like when you every quarter, just change the batteries in it. But I don't know. Will an EMP take out batteries as well?
It'll take out anything.
that's not my expertise. Maybe Hudson knows, or Uncle Charlie. I know that they are more versed in knowledge of EMP. I just know that
And it'll take our
for
car
phones and so forth, computers, all that will go down.
Yep.
nuclear.
Anything that's electronic that's turned on.
No, it won't. Okay, so batteries will be okay.
Right.
So we should stock up on batteries instead of toilet tissue. Is that what we're saying?
Well, I don't know about that because your cell phone has a battery and it's going to go down.
Because it's
Yeah, but-
electronic and it's always on.
Correct.
Any
Ah.
electronics get fried.
Mhm.
So if your car is running, it won't run after
will
that
circuitry.
after that
Okay.
electronic
Mhm.
pulse.
Right. Okay. So we need an old car.
Points, plugs, and
Wolfgang
condensers.
says, be careful of crappy ammo too.
Yep.
Yes.
This is true.
Oh,
Trying to go
Also,
through the
another
chat here. I'm trying to go in order.
Another thing that's on the channel is stuff like how do you clean the gun? How do you
Yes.
maintain the gun? And a step by step so that you can stop the video and actually clean the gun and watch how it should be properly done.
We do a lot of we're getting ready to do one in the next few weeks too on how to do some training, like what's called dry fire training, where you're not at the range and you can train at home. We have some tools that you can use for that that we'll be featuring on a video coming up soon. Some really cool stuff that we actually learned about at the gathering. So
In fact, we met you at that booth.
we did. We met you there. So we've got some stuff coming up about that too, and we're going to actually teach some drills that you can do at home, dry fire. So that's kind of cool too. Shooting guns in the house is always fun, as long as they're unloaded.
And Christy, I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much, because this is the longest I've been on camera when I wasn't playing a thug.
That is true.
Usually we have him like when we do any type of like a situational awareness video, like we have to have a thug.
I'm the guy in the hoodie.
And like he plays a great thug. It kind of scares me a little bit.
I grew up in Camden, New Jersey, so that explains a lot. Anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely. The live streams usually go for an hour, unless there's a bunch of questions pouring in.
Well, it says Fuzz has most women seem to have trouble loading their magazines. They find it very hard. Honestly, did I mess up the link, Hudson? Okay. Most women have trouble loading their magazines. They find it very hard. Honestly, once we train them how to properly do it, they don't.
And we have some reloaders that work really great, but there are some tricks to do it with your hands too. The reloaders can be a little bit faster if you're in a hurry, but we always also try to teach women the proper way to do it with their hands. And it is a little bit more difficult, but once we teach them the right way, it's not that hard, and you should always know how to do it.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, and racking the slide. There's a trick to the racking the slide as well.
Unlocking the action.
And
I forgot about that too, or a Carrington event with a CME. I forgot about that. Will also cause an equivalent EMP situation.
Oh, okay.
We talk about all that in our community. So if anyone isn't familiar with that, you can follow either me or Hudson. Hudson's got an awesome channel too.
Okay.
I hope, Hudson, you also drop your link.
I was gonna say, yeah, drop your link.
Yeah, drop your link too. Yeah.
And
we have a really great community.
If anybody has a page or a channel that they'd like to drop their channel, please feel free to drop it in this chat so we can go back and subscribe. You know, we definitely love to support anybody out there, you know, working hard and hustling. And
I always like learning about all this stuff. Yes, I saw somebody said that they hunt too. That is something I have never done. So I think I could if I had to eat, but I've never gone hunting. Have you ever hunted? Mm-hmm. You have? Okay. Yeah. So I can see that.
I grew up in the mountains of West Virginia. So
yeah. So I haven't ever done that, but it's on the bucket list. Maybe one day.
Let's see, subscribe.
As he says, most women have trouble loading their magazines. They find it hard. Do you have a trick for women to be able to load their magazines easier?
So that's what we were saying earlier. So all the things that some of the women struggle with, and even if it's like a woman of median age, whatever, or we have women like my mother-in-law shoots, and she's in her 70s. So, you know, she has, you know, any type of arthritis, anything like that. So we train women from 18 endless. And so we come across all of that, whether they have some sort of problem with their hands, their strength, or they have arthritis, or they're just kind of weaker. They haven't trained with their hands. So we have tricks and tips that we teach, whether it be using a speed loader or tricks just with their hands physically, how to load their magazines and racking the slides, locking the action up, all the things.
Oh, Hudson said he's got to go. It was very nice to meet you, Hudson.
Thank you.
Take care now.
We'll check out your channel. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Hudson Valley Prepping.
He said he liked your ink too, Amber. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, he likes your ink.
So we definitely we have as many different ways to help women be as productive as they can and use everything as effectively as they can to work around any disabilities. Like Louisa, for example, I don't know if many people know her story, but long story short, she's had a severed leg. Like
Yeah.
And she's out there doing tactical stuff. She's moving and shooting and doing all the things. And
Well,
she's
there was a lot of surgery involved in that.
There was a
too,
lot of
but
surgery and a lot of
we-
prayer
we
involved
didn't
in that.
just put it on with a Band-Aid. It's
No.
yeah, but what I'm saying is though, I
Right.
mean, she worked around her disabilities
I
and she
did.
still does. Like she's still out there, you know, teaching these things to other women. And you know, I mean, I know that she struggles. Like I know that her leg hurts and bothers her, but she works around it, you know, just like women with weak hands and things like that. She's out there doing it. So
Yep.
Operator asked, it looks different because that was in my Q&A section. So he's asking if Georgia has any laws regarding use of force similar to New York has Article 13 use of force. And do you teach law?
Well, can I answer that?
Yes, go ahead.
We don't teach law because we're not lawyers.
Right.
We give legal
Information.
not legal advice, because again, we're not lawyers. But I can tell you that the use of force laws differ from state to state.
Right.
You're going to find that some states are duty to retreat states. In other words, you must retreat to the furthest possible point of retreat before you can deploy deadly force. There are, I think, 14 duty to retreat states. Thank goodness Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Florida are not duty to retreat states. But that means that you don't have a duty to retreat before you deploy deadly force. But I would say this, it would be a good idea to get away if you can.
Yes.
You do not want to use the gun if it's at all possible. Because again, you know, it's a country of laws and there's juries and everything that happens outside is videoed. So if the jury gets a look at a video where you could have gotten away and you chose not to because you don't have to, that's not going to play very well with the jury. And you can very easily end up in the penitentiary for doing something that wasn't even technically illegal, but because the jury found it distasteful, you can lose that court case. I hope that answers the
That's
question.
also why they have the firearms insurance for people that carry.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do. We do. And we can put another link in our bio. We need to put a link to that in our bio on our YouTube channel for people. We support a company called Right to Bear. And you can have legal advice for less than I pay for my insurance on my cell phone. It's like $10.99 a month, and really, really important. And you can get legal advice from them because once you sign up for that, then to constitute legal advice, what you have to do is money has to change hands from a lawyer that practices in your state. So Right to Bear will find you when you sign up, they'll sign you up with a lawyer that's in your state, and money has to change hands, and you ask a specific question, they give you a specific answer. So that's legal advice. So you will have access for $10.99 a month to legal advice. So we will put a link up there for anybody that wants that. But yeah, it's really, really important. And I think anybody that owns a gun, whether they carry it outside of their home or only have it for inside of their home, should have it. It's also great because it covers anything. It doesn't have to be a firearm. If somebody breaks in your house and you smash them over the head with your pot that you're cooking your dinner with and you kill them, they will defend you. If you are out and about and whatever happens and there's an angry mob and you drive your car through the mob to get out of it because your life is in danger and you hit somebody with your car, they'll defend you for that. As long as you, not just a regular car accident, only if you're using the car in self-defense to get away from a situation. But
and they cover minor children in your home too.
They do cover minor children, and it's like $3.99 a month for all the kids. It's not per child. And I think that's really cool because if they get bullied at school, they turn around and pop some other kid in the nose and the mom sues you, they will cover you in court. And that's civilly and criminally. So
in the case of the defense for a charge of homicide, the average cost of that is $1.7 million. Yeah. Let me say that again. $1.7 million.
I don't know about y'all, but we don't have
I
that
don't have
sitting
that
in the
kind of
bank.
scratch in my bank account.
And don't misunderstand. If you think you're protecting yourself in self-defense, you may be, but it's still homicide.
Until proven
It's
otherwise.
proven otherwise.
Right.
So a lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
I mean, it's completely in your mind. It's justified, and we all know that, but it's not until it's proven. You know, it's still homicide. What if they break it into my wife's leftovers? Well, if it's my chili, you know.
That's pretty funny. Somebody said, "What if they break into my house and eat some of my wife's leftovers and dies? Will the insurance cover me?" That's pretty good.
Yardbirds.
Yeah.
Fuzzy said that you all should attend the Georgia Shooting Connection every Friday night at 8 p.m. Do you know about that?
I don't.
We don't.
So I'm writing that down right now. Georgia Shooting Connection. What is that, Fuzzy? Can you tell us a little more about that?
Fuzzy, I'm gonna if you have a link. Hold on, Fuzz. I got you.
Bye, Wolfgang. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Good
Let
night,
me see.
Wolfgang. I will talk to you later.
I'm looking it up right now. See if I can find it. Georgia. Shooting.
Fuzzy, you should be a moderator now. If you have a link you can drop for me or for them, I would appreciate it.
Here it is. YouTube, Georgia Shooting Connection. Live streamers will be hosted from this channel so everyone knows where to find us. Oh, that's cool. Okay. We'll have to check it out.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. We'll check that out.
Chat, we are at the 55-minute mark. If you have any last minute questions, please drop them in the Q&A so that I can get to them. If there's no more questions, I'm going to close out the Q&A, but I've only had the one in the Q&A from operator that I put up, and then the ones I've been trying to catch in the chat. So if you have a question, please drop it in there.
Or if we
Like,
missed
as soon as
something
you
in the
can.
chat, we were trying to watch the chat too, but if we missed you and didn't answer your question, please resend it so we can see it.
Oh, I need
Yeah,
to
this is
pick
our
up the
first
internet.
time doing a live. So
Yeah, we've never
we're
done
learning,
live before, so this is new for us.
and we'll have the.
I hope we did okay.
We're having the. We'll do the have the
You're
audio.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next time,
guys, they did their first live with me.
Yay!
Yay!
So
Thank
excited. I
you.
was like, you guys, it's okay. So I'm so glad you guys were welcoming with them. I appreciate that.
I've been reloading.
They do. Do you guys do classes every week, or how often do you do classes?
So,
Right now, but like every
once
other month.
It's like, well, it was once a month, but we were taking the month of May off unless enough interest
Yes.
came about. So as of right now, the month of May is off, and we will resume. So we have our April 22nd class, which we have one spot left, one seat left available, and then our next class is June 10th, which is wide open. So we do have availability in June, so June 10th, and all of that information can be found at our website, which is full of information. I'm gonna put it right here.
Yep. And then, and if anybody ever like has a group of 4 or more people that want to do training, we can create a class for you. If you contact us through the website, as long as you have 4 people that commit to do it or more, we can create some training just for you, and we'll work around that. So we can figure something out. So please, if you don't see something, a date that works for you, reach out to us. So we'll make it happen.
Amber, can you drop it in the private chat? It's not showing up in the public. I'll have to copy and paste it on my end.
Okay, so
you remember how to get to the private chat?
I believe so. Oh yes, I'm gonna drop it right now. Like I call it like make it a girls' day. Like literally, like you guys owe it to yourself. Make it a girls' day. Girls get together, come down, do some awesome training, and in the evening with some dinner.
Yep. Pink Shears, Vanessa, and Abby on Georgia Shooting Connection. We're gonna have to check that out.
Did it get to you?
Okay. Yeah. And then the classes, how long are the classes? Are they one day, multiple days? How does that work?
Right now, the basic class, the Warrior Basics class, is 1 day, and it's the class I was talking about. It's 8 in the morning until 6 p.m. Good long day, full of content, action packed. It's a great class.
It is. It's a really good class. And you get one of these notebooks if you come with the Modern Woman Warrior Academy. And
discount on t-shirts,
yep.
Your own private Modern Woman Warrior Academy. We have our own logo for it.
Yep, we have a separate logo for that. And then we have a section on our website that once you've come to a class, you're a part of that group. So you have access with a login code to other materials and stuff that other people that haven't been to the academy don't have access to. We put certain targets in there. We have our target with our Modern Women Warrior logo that we just created that's going to be put up in there.
That you can download.
So you can download it. We have some drills that you can download in there. So all kinds of really cool stuff there, and a section to our store that has that logo that nobody else can have access to unless they have the login code for that,
and discount codes
too for the store. Yeah.
And you get, so everything that you learn in the class, like when you come into the class, you get like you come into the desk and it's pretty neat. You have all your material laid out on the table. So everything that we teach, you get to take home in a notebook. So like
that
our
has
entire
your name on it.
Yeah, our entire PowerPoint is printed out. So if for any reason you want to go back and say, okay, what did I learn about this? I can't quite remember. You have access to it. So you get to take home all that information. It's pretty neat.
Yep.
So it's a lot of great information. It's a great class.
It's a really
How
cool
many are in
community.
a class normally?
Right now we're keeping it small and intimate, 6 to 8. 10 is pushing it. We don't want to go past 10. 6 to 8 is ideal for us. We like to keep it around 6
We
to
like
8.
to have a lot of one-on-one instruction. We like to be able to work with each individual student individually. So we'd rather, if we get more than 8, we typically try to move somebody to another class or create a class. If we have 3 or 4 people that want a class, we'll just create it on another weekend that works for everybody. But we really want everybody to have that intimate experience of learning one-on-one.
Yeah, when it gets past 8, they don't get that, especially when it comes to the pistol instruction. You don't really get, it doesn't feel as it's like she said, it's intimate, that one-on-one
and the
time
unarmed
with us.
stuff too.
And the unarmed, yeah. So we really like to keep it as small as we can. I mean, we'd love to have 10 in a class, but I just think that a little too many for how much. We do actually. We have Stop the Bleed. But yeah, we like to keep it small. We'd like to keep it small.
Yes, and we do Stop the Bleed. That's really important. And we're thinking about, actually right now, Stop the Bleed is a separate class, but we're thinking about incorporating that into the either the intermediate or the advanced level as part of that class, like the unarmed self-defense. But it may end up being that a 2-day class. Yeah, so that we have Stop the Bleed.
It's just hard to get people to be able to commit to a 2-day class
at this point. Yeah.
So that's the Stop the Bleed is a separate class. So it's something that we host, and it's literally it's a standalone class. It's not part of the Warrior Basic class. We put it up, people book it, and it's nothing but Stop the Bleed or first aid.
So just so
really important, though.
We're clear,
it is very important.
We cap it at 4 because with every 8 because we have 4 instructors. So you would always, anytime you're on the line, you would have an instructor with you one-on-one.
Yes.
So you go up 2 different flights of 4 people. Now in this empty hand fighting, the more people we have, the less reps you're going to get, because you're going to have one-on-one instruction, but we want you to get as many reps as you can handle. And so the more reps you do, we were talking about muscle memory, the more muscle memory you build up, and the more chance you have to perfect the technique.
We have 2 of the Bob. It's called Bob. If you look up Bob, you'll see Bob for self-defense. It's like the silhouette of a man, and you can do strikes on him. He feels like he moves kind of like a real person would. So we have 2 of them, and they're very expensive. So we haven't, maybe one day if we grow really well, then we can add another instructor and another Bob and grow the classes. But at this point, we're just kind of capping them at 8. So,
and if you go to our website and go to the Academy section where you can look at the classes and the details of what it comes with, there's a little gallery at the bottom, and you'll see Bob. You'll see
Bob in the pictures. Yeah.
And you'll see some of the unarmed self-defense and what the students look like, kicking some butt in there and stuff like that. Or follow us if you're on Instagram or something, go to the social media. We're pretty active on there. And we always post as many pictures as we can from like the classes and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Pretty cool.
So I'm going to ask everyone in chat, please check out their channel. Subscribe, share it out. They're a brand new channel. I'm trying to help them grow. So if you all can also help them grow, show them some love, share them out.
Thank you.
Check out their videos. There's some pretty cool videos to see them in action and see their students in action, which is really awesome, as well as some educational videos. Hudson posted the link earlier, and I have it in the description of this video. So definitely check out the description where their link is. Do you guys have a Facebook page too, don't you?
Yes, we do. And Instagram.
Yep. Okay. Is that Modern Warrior or Modern Woman Warrior in both of those as well?
Yes.
Yes.
So if they just do a search, okay. So check out their IG, check out their Facebook, check out their YouTube channel, check out their website,
Thank you.
and support them, guys. Support them and help them get out there so that other women can learn these skills and get involved in their classes and get the education and the training that really I feel everyone should have. But this is a chance where women can go without feeling intimidated.
And then
Sure.
Christy, you'll be able to go back and be able to talk to exactly what the class was like.
Yeah. That's going to
Mhm.
be really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah,
tell 'em
guys. So
all you learned.
no, you're fine. I was gonna say there's one spot left, right, for the 22nd,
Yep.
April
Yes.
22nd. I am going to be there, you guys. So if you want to do this class, I'm actually going to be in the April 22nd class,
Yep.
and there's one spot left. So if you want to join me, definitely get in there and sign up now. It's an 8-hour course, I believe.
Yep.
On the
A little
22nd.
more than
Okay.
It'll be
It might be 8
it's
and a
like
half,
10.
9, 10,
It's 10.
somewhere.
In the morning, 6 at night.
Yeah, but we'll make it go fast. We promise.
You'll enjoy it.
You'll
Okay.
enjoy it. It'll be worth every second of it.
So if you guys want to squeeze in that last class, definitely get on their website and sign up. I'm going to be there, and then their next class, the availability is not until June, I believe. So if you want to get in sooner than later, grab that last spot while you can.
And I tell you what, anybody that comes in from this, if you let us know that you found us from this chat, we'll give you a 15% discount on the class.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, there
for
you go,
coming in.
guys.
Yeah. So for coming in,
Y'all better hurry up.
Yeah,
Take that
'cause
last
we really
spot.
appreciate Christy inviting us. So
We
we would
sure
like to do that for you guys. So yeah, just get on there, and if you sign up, and then down at the bottom of the page there's a comments, like a reach out to us section, or just I usually reach out to everybody when they sign up anyway. So just make sure you
Just-
mention
Yeah, that they came from you.
yes that
Yep.
that you came from
My mother's
my
sparks, yeah.
mother's spark.
Mhm.
Yes.
Do you guys have any parting words?
Do we?
This was educational. Oh, that was nice.
Oh, so, well, thanks for everybody who participated in the conversation. This was really fun for us, and we loved sharing our vision, sharing our word, everything that we wanted to get out there. We hope you come over to the channel.
And we'll have to check you guys out some more, because it
Absolutely.
sounds like y'all have some really kind of different stuff that we haven't really thought about. So I definitely want to hop back in here again.
Stay safe out there. Shoot straight.
Do you have
And then,
anything?
and then I have one thing to say. You got to
Mhm.
come watch these girls. They are the real deal.
Oh,
These
I
guys
think
can
Cody should come
actually
say
do it.
hello.
Come on over, Cody.
Come
say
on,
hi.
Cody.
Come say hi quick, please. So this is my guy.
This is Amber's husband. Since you've all met Grant, my husband. Here's Cody. He's been hiding in the background. There he is. We
keeping us
love
straight.
Cody too. He's
Hello,
always
husband.
great out there on the range, helping us set stuff up, and they're always lugging stuff for us. And
He was back there listening with the earbuds. in,
yes,
but
we can't do it without him. So
but
we
thank
really
you guys.
appreciate it.
we
Thank
Was he
appreciate
you.
behind
it.
the keyboard too?
Yes.
Well, he was on his
I
phone
assume that
listening.
was him because she wasn't
Yes,
moving her fingers, but it was it was
Make
typing.
comments. Yes.
So,
That's
but
really
we,
good.
we
So-
appreciate you. And
You're welcome. You're welcome. Don't go anywhere when I close this out. Just hang out for a second. As far as my subscribers, you guys don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Please share this out so that these guys get out. I want to thank you guys so much for all your support and for being respectful and asking questions. That's what it's all about. We can't learn if we don't ask questions. There's no stupid question. And always stay prepared and stay alert and be safe. You guys know I always tell you love each other, take care of each other. And until next time, good night, everyone.
Good night.